everyone, welcome back to this channel. We have already completed this project. We have done every step. Now in this video, I'll just summarize the whole thing we have done. Okay, it's a complete project and we will just revise the whole things. Okay, what was our aim? Our aim was that we have to find whether an employee will leave the company or stay in the company, depending on some given factors. We had this data set and there are some columns you can see. So, depending on these factors, the employee may stay in the company or may leave the company, and our job is to predict so that the HR can take some measures so that the employee stays. Okay. Now, how we did the project? We used logistic regression model. Why? Because the output is a categorical variable, either 1 or 0. Will stay or will not stay. That's why we used uh, logistic regression model. Okay, first what we have done, we have imported all the libraries. These are necessary because we will be calling many functions which are described in these libraries. Okay, next, this is used pandas pd. You can see PD is used to just upload the data set. You have a data set which is containing all these values. So we have to upload this data set so that we can work on that. Head function is used to show us the top rows. If you want 5, then you can write 5. If you want 6, you can write 6. By default, it is 5. Otherwise, you can fetch all the rows you want to fetch. Okay. In the next step, we checked df.save. That means it just gives us the rows and columns. In the dataset, there are almost 14,900, not almost 14,990 rows and 10 columns. Okay, you can count from here 10 columns also. Fine. And one more thing that we have a CSV. But if you want, you can just convert it into XLS and you can open it in Excel file. That also we did. This is mainly CSV file because all the values are separated by comma. Okay. Next, info function. Info function provides us the informations of the column. See, this is the first column, second column, third column. Now here you can see that what is the type, like it is a float, it is also a float. These are integers, department and salary job check like this. See, so you can get an overall information from the info function. Then we used df.describe. Describe gives us the statistics of the dataset. Here just like count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, percentile, 25th percentile, 50th percentile, 75th percentile, what is the maximum value. Okay, count means total count, mean means mean of the total column, standard deviation means deviation from the average value, minimum is the what is the minimum value, 25 percentile means 25% of the data set is below this number. Same way 50% of data, 75% of data. Okay. So this gives us the statistics of all the numerical columns. Okay. Next, we have just check what are the column names. If you find anything wrong, any misspelling, then just you can rename them. That means rename function you can use so that you can rename them and correct the columns. Okay. You can give some shorter columns also or something more appropriate. Okay, fine. Next is how we have to check whether there is anything missing value. So we can write df.ijna.sum. This here as we can see that there is no missing values. If there is, we have to either delete the missing values or we have to replace them. Okay. In the next, we have checked whether there is any duplicated values. The same data because the data is not always clean. Na? So our job is to perform the data cleaning. Here we are just doing the data cleaning process. So we have checked if there is, obviously you have to delete because you don't know, you don't need duplicated values. Keep equal to first means the only one value will be kept and all other duplicates will be deleted. We have rechecked it here and we have just fetched the some rows to check whether it is okay or not. Then we have detected the outliers. Why outliers? Because outliers are the far from the average and it will create bias if it exists in the dataset. That's why we have just tried to create a figure. This is a box plot. Okay. This is done using Seaborn. And here we have detected the outliers. Fine. Why we have detected the outliers? Because we want to remove them. Otherwise, our model will not work perfectly. Later on, we have removed them. Here we have just checked the shape again. That means columns, rows, because duplicates are deleted. So you can see that rows values are deleted. This one is row and this one is column. Next, this is the outlier. What is the then? We have to decide what is the upper limit for the outlier, what is the lower limit for the outlier. And we have done it using the percentile things: 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75%. A data set is divided into four parts. So first we have taken 25th percentile and 75th percentile, and then we have calculated some upper limit and lower limit. And we want the data set, only those values from the dataset which are within these limits. Outside of upper limit or outside of lower limit will be removed. So outliers will be simply removed because we want the average part, we want the concentrated part. Okay. Next, we have seen that there are 824 outliers. Fine. Next, we have just checked what are the relationship between different kind of columns. This is a kind of experiment you can do, any types of experiment, whatever you think as per your judgment that these columns may be connected somehow. You just plot them and check whether they are connected and how they are exactly working. Okay, here like we checked box plot. This one is histogram. If you want, you can make this figure size big also, like this. Here we did plot dot figure fixed size. You can change it. You can make it bigger. Okay, that is fine. Next we saw that number of projects who have done more than 7 project has left. So we have just worked with all these data set. Next we have done a scatter plot. See here with two columns, average monthly hours with satisfaction level, to check how both are kind of related. Okay. And you can draw conclusions from them. You can find the hidden patterns which can be used for employee retention. Next, we have created a box plot as well, histogram with other columns, and in which departments people are working, how many people. There also we have created his plot, but we didn't find something special from here. But you have to check multiple times with multiple things so that you can find the patterns. Okay. This way you can get the value of mean, median. We have done loads of EDA in this project. Okay. Here also we have created a correlation map. Correlation, how they are correlated. Like this means positively correlated. See the color also, color pattern. You can check the color pattern. When it is going to -1, this is negatively correlated. So correlation is going down towards downside. Fine. We can find the patterns, how they are related. What is the satisfaction level if someone is working for more than 5 hours or 5 years or more than that. Then here we have just removed the outliers, and then we have splitted the data, because the data set, you have to split the data set. On some part you are going to apply the training, and on other parts you are going to apply the test data set. So here I have first make it x and y in the x column. Sorry, in the x dataset I have kept all the columns. In the y dataset I have kept the left column. Left is the output, that is what we are going to check. Okay, fine. And one thing I forgot to tell you, here we have done one hot encoding, because department and salary, you can see these are objects, all others are numerics. So our job is to change them to numerical value. That's why we have done get dummies. Okay, so here they are changed to numerical. False true means they are 0 1 types, because it's boolean value. Fine. Now here we have checked x and y. These are fine. Next we have to do trend test split. That means the data set will be divided into 80-20 parts. 80-25 because I have given 0.2. If you give 0.1, then it will be 90-10. If you give 0.3, then it will be 70-30. Okay. Random state, you can give it any number, but I have given 42 because this is kind of tradition. Okay. So after trend test split, the data will be splitted, and on 80% of the data, the model will be trained. Their model has both the input value, the output value, and model is trying to find the relationship between input and output. Fine. So after it finds the relationship, then it will be applied on the test data set. Okay. So the whole data set is not trained. Fine, train test split just splits the data set because only 80% of the data it will be applied. Next, model equal to logistic regression model we have applied. Maximum iteration you can give anything and you have to fit it, because and fit means the model is actually trained here. That means it is trying to find the gradient descent, the pattern, how input output is fitted. Okay, so the model is trained here. Next, once it is trained, it will predict on which, predict on those data sets which have been not trained, those 20 data sets. X test 20% of the data set, model will predict. Model has trained here, now model will predict, and that will be kept in a different variable. Okay, but those data set we also have some values like whether the employee has left or employee has stayed. We have that y test value. Now the model has predicted y pred value. So we have two values. Now we will check whether those values are equal or different. So here we have plotted a confusion matrix. Here the model predicted the employees will not leave the company and the employees didn't leave the company. And here the model predicted that the companies will leave and the employees left. So in two cases, the model predicted what is correct. But here in those cases, the model predicted wrong. The model predicted something, actually happened something else. Okay, so these are known as precision, recall, accuracy. If you don't know, you have to study all these things. I hope you know. So we have just applied confusion matrix to check what is the kind of accuracy the model is providing. And finally, we have printed the classification report. Classification report will give us the precision value, recall value, F1 score value, and you can see that we have achieved 83% accuracy. This accuracy can be improved, and we can do this thing using other algorithm also. Okay, so in this video I have just tried to revise all the things, and now I will update all these things and I will upload it in GitHub and will give you the link also. Okay, so bye, happy learning.